up, you know what time it is. Hit that damn like button as you make your way in the door. Grab a seat, settle in, get ready. It's the Grown Man Hour with your host, my man, Bernard Riley.
The people that's in there, she just maroons with them.
Yeah.
And she's watched this whole campaign in a way in which, solidifies she's a black woman. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so she's one of us. And when you think about us as queens, every queen needs a king. And so if we're looking beside us and they're not there, or we're not on the same page,
exactly,
that's a problem.
Did she seriously just say that?
Because as a whole, we're family.
Listen to this shit.
You know what I mean? And so she's one of us. And when you think about us as queens, every queen needs a king. And so if we're looking beside us and they're not there.
All right. Looking beside us and they're not there. No, we looking beside us and you're not there. Don't try to say like, what the fuck? We supposed to be following you? Y'all hear that shit? Every queen needs a king. No,
She knows the people that's in there. She just maroons with them.
Yeah.
And she's watched this whole campaign in a way in which, solidifies she's a black woman. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so she's one of us. And when you think about us as queens, every queen needs a king. And so if we're looking beside us and they're not there, or we're not on the same page,
exactly,
that's a problem. That's a problem because as a whole, we're family.
Okay. If the king and the queen is not on the same page, which one, the king or the queen, needs to get back in line and get on the same page with the other? If the king and the queen are not on the same page, which one do we determine is on the wrong page? If that was some get in line and follow the woman shit, if I've never heard some get in line and follow the woman shit. And don't even talk about the king and the queen not being on the same page politically when socially, interpersonally, the same page isn't there. Because it's, for years, who adopted the strong, independent, don't need no man, I could do it by myself, I ain't submitting to no man, I ain't doing this, I ain't doing that. Oh, wait, man, why aren't you here on with me at the polls? Right here on this show, right here on this very same show, they've talked about submission and poo-pooed it. They've talked about black men in relationships and what they ain't gonna do and what they not gonna do and how they don't have to do this, they don't have to do that. They basically just said, fuck you niggas when it comes to all the interpersonal relationship shit. Where a king-queen dynamic metaphorically could at least play out. They the ones that have said, fuck it. Because other than the top most selective men who can have a de facto harem of women, a rotation and all of that, most men generally think it's a good idea. I'm talking about most. I'm talking about the middle of the pack. I'm not talking about, the dick slinging player who got it like that. I know that's the only one that they see, but I'm not talking about that guy. I'm talking about just the average run-of-the-mill guy. Yeah, even Alpha Male Strategies has said this, where he trying to teach dudes how to be players and fuck these bitches asleep and all of that. But he said most of them just want one woman. Because most dudes are not players, because most dudes can't be players. So most men are okay with just one chick. That coupled with the fact that we can point out that 1 in 3 men from 18 to 29 don't even report it not having any sex in the last year. Then there's another percentage on top of that where they typically can only get sex in the context of a relationship. So most men by default are okay with one woman because that's a lot of times, unless you just that player type, unless you just that dude that got it like that, having a bunch of women is not an option for most men. Most men, yeah, they just, they good with one. That's reality. Most men are good with one. It's the women who would rather be the third woman of the rotation of a man who they really, really want than to be in a committed monogamous relationship with structure with the man that they actually qualify for. That's really what the strong, independent, don't need no man is all about. Is them just getting random dick from the guy they want to fuck while doing what they got to do to live, to keep food and roof over their head. In many cases, via the government. But that's another. Well, I won't even say another story because that is a story. So that's the divide where the king and the queen is not there. The queen looking and the king not there. Well, we know why he's not there in your actual personal life. But when it comes to voting to help women keep the stuff that they need to live that type of life that I just described, wait, king, why aren't you here on my side? No. I'm going to be by your side and vote with you to vote for what amounts to policies that help to ensure that you ultimately get to continue to live in this way where you can conduct yourself in a way that's not going to help this king and this queen, using air quotes, be together. That was the mind fuck of the year right there. I'm glad, but I'm almost mad that I'm freestyling this shit. Because I would really murk this if I had time to just sit back and think about it. I'm freestyling right now because I had no idea. I haven't seen this. Normally when I review something, I've seen it. I've watched it twice. I've never seen this. He just caught me off guard with that shit. God damn. Jalen Riley says, you ain't nobody queen if you ain't got a ring, but they still expecting you. Yeah, you still supposed to be the king, supposed to follow. King supposed to follow the queen. If the king and the queen not on the same page, who's on the wrong page? The goddamn king need to get back in line behind me. That's what oh my goodness.